So, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups? The genre of our movie was action. Since it was a film about street fighting, this was the only genre that made sense. When you think about an action movie, the first thing that probably comes to your mind is a lot of effects to promote constant action and keep the audience entertained. When looking at the genre of action films, they usually have a fast-moving plot with scenes of violence, where a hero is put against obstacles, which is usually a villain or antagonist. When it comes to costumes, the actors wear expensive clothing, or at least look ready to fight. Like James Bond has his suit, and Rocky has his boxing shorts. The most generic action storyline includes good versus evil. The lighting in action movies as a whole is usually daylight or night, not really much in between. These movies are usually set in an urban area, and our movie uses tons of these action movie conventions from start to finish. We don't challenge very many at all. To start off, the theme of our movie is revenge, and that involves the hero losing the first fight and winning the rematch. We have a hero, and we also have a villain or antagonist, more of an antagonist. The lighting of our film is broad daylight and in a park, but in between an alleyway area. I don't know how to describe it. So kind of urban, I don't know. Our costumes are athleisure, and to put that into perspective, we look like we came from the gym, which gives off a ready to fight vibe, I guess. The biggest convention that we use throughout the film is the fight scene. In nearly every action movie, there's always a fight scene. The fight scene takes many different forms and is enjoyed in both live action and in animated films. To provide more action to the fight scene, we have good editing combined with good sound effects to give off a better experience overall. We did not intend to represent any social groups, we just wanted to make a good, exciting, and fun movie. So how does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed? We wanted our finished product to overall appeal to specific audiences. The intended audience has two parts to it, however either part can watch and enjoy this movie. The first part, or type we targeted, were fans of action movies. This is pretty self-explanatory since this is an action movie, but any fan of any movie can enjoy this. And since a major part of the action movies are actually the fight scene, or the fight scenes, this was very important to us that we perfected it for our targeted audience. We spent countless hours watching real fights and fight scenes from movies, such as Creed or any other type of media. We used YouTube to find authentic fights to just build off. Not only did we take the time to study the fights, we also choreographed the entire scene and practiced it over and over again to perfect it and really make our project outstanding. We had great camera work, great choreography, great editing, and great sound effects. The second part of the targeted audience is fans of the popular anime Dragon Ball Z. The reason for this is not so big, but there's a few references throughout our film, and being fans, we really wanted to include it. The ways we would distribute this project would mainly just be through YouTube and social media. YouTube would be the best due to their system of targeted ads, so we can make sure all fans of fighting and action would see this movie. If they've clicked on multiple fight videos, they'd be able to see this movie. If they've watched fight scenes from, let's say they looked up Creed, they'd see the ads for this movie. Many social media apps also use a similar feature to make sure it would really become known to the target audience. You'll just see it in your feed. So overall, how did your production skills develop throughout this project? When I first walked into my ACE Media Studies class, I had absolutely no clue about camera angles, movements, or how to make a movie at all. Before this main project, we were given a series of tasks that each taught us a different skill that we used in this main project. One project taught us how to make a good storyboard, which I had no clue about. Another taught us how to add and take full advantage of sound and music, which is very important for this one. Another focused on improving acting, which also is important, but we did not have many words at all. So, going into this project, we spent a long time deciding on a pitch. We then had to come up with a good storyboard, which took a ton of time, but it helped out a lot because it improved my creativeness and my artistic skills. When it came to filming, I had an exact idea of what I wanted. When I saw the final product and it looked exactly how I wanted to, it was a great feeling. After we perfected our scenes filming, it was time to take it to the editing room. Editing went perfectly, and our final product is perfect in my opinion. My production skills definitely increased since the start of this project.
So how did you integrate different technologies?
At school, we were very blessed to have access to tons of technology. Without the technology, this project would have been impossible to complete without spending tons of money. The most important technology was hardware, and that was the camera provided by the school. We also got a tripod, which helped out so much with stability. We had access to cameras at any time, and all we had to do was sign a form to prove we took the camera and that we were liable for it, and return it the next school day. This was crucial due to none of us owning an actual camera that would work for the project, and it has to look good. We also had access to computers and an editing software at school. However, we decided on editing at home. That was the best option because the school's computers work, but they're not really the greatest. We've had problems before with our previous tasks. So we decided that it would be fastest and most efficient to edit at home, and we had all spring break to edit, which helped a lot. We also used Google to find inspiration for our movie, which was huge because it allowed us to give us ideas and find movies to watch that have done what we've done. YouTube also played a huge role in allowing us to access tons of fight scenes and truly understand the fight scene and choreography to put it into our own movie.